Joining us, conservative attorney and Washington Post contributing columnist George Conway. So tomorrow, what will you be watching? Besides everything,
the entire spectacle. I mean, I don't know what we could talk about after the Trump lawyer chart there.
Why is he surrounding himself? Are these the people who will work for him?
I mean, I think he's pretty much run out of lawyers. I mean, he had this trouble 5 years ago when he was trying to find lawyers to represent him after Rod Rosenstein had appointed the special counsel Robert Mueller, and he went through the lists of big names. In fact, I was on a phone call with him where he was asking me about lawyers, and they won't represent him because he's erratic. He doesn't pay his bills, doesn't follow directions, undercuts his own lawyers by shopping for advice, and.
It does seem like he likes this sort of team of sort of Game of Thrones like.
Yeah, no, but it's part of it. Yeah, I mean that's part of the his manipulation of the situation. He wants to manipulate the situation. He wants to hear what he wants to hear, which is part of how how he's getting himself into trouble in other places, like the Mar-a-Lago documents. He's talking to a non-lawyer, getting advice about whether he gets to keep these documents that he took from the federal government. It's no way to run a criminal defense or any kind of defense program.
So the campaign says they're fundraising on it. Miller says they raised $7 million. We don't know if that's real or not, but it's very possible. I mean, he certainly fundraises on just about everything. Does this hurt him? Does this help him?
It helps among the base. I think it helps among the Republican base because they don't want to admit. Once you start admitting that maybe Trump did something wrong, it's hard to kind of stop with the one thing. It's a domino effect. So you basically have to engage in this extended psychological denial and this displacement, this complete attempt to just shield yourself from the reality of who this man is and what all the things that he has done. And that's part of why the base or the polls seems to be suggesting, and it's probably true that there's a coalescing here where people are kind of gathering around him, and they're protecting him. They want to protect him because they view it as an attack on him, and that's what he tries to take advantage of. On the other hand, the fact of the matter is he's never going to be able to win the people he needs to win back the presidency. And the more of this that happens, the more distasteful he becomes.
It's a reminder of all the drama and the
he's sort of boiling. Yeah, his support is boiling down to its essence, which is not going to be enough to win a general election. But it's probably going to get him the nomination.
The Trump legal team is saying that they'll challenge every potential issue. What is that? I mean, for the legal process, this could. Eli Honig had said previously that, something like this usually might take a year, this case.
Easily.
But with dragging it out, it could take longer. A year puts you right in before the presidential election, essentially, right in the heart of the campaign.
We're going to have, this man could possibly be indicted 3, maybe 4 times between now and November of 2024. I think it's reasonably likely he'll be indicted in Georgia. We'll have to have this whole situation that we're seeing tomorrow unfold in Fulton County. And, with the news that we've just recently heard about the special counsel in the Mar-a-Lago documents case, tightening the noose a little bit, that's going to be a very serious case, too. And that's probably going to be actually the most serious one for them all.
I want to play something that Cy Vance, the former Manhattan District Attorney, said on NBC's Meet the Press yesterday about Trump's statements about the current DA, Alvin Bragg.
I've got to say that I was disturbed to hear the former president speak in the way he spoke about the District Attorney Bragg and even the trial court in the past week. And I think if I were his lawyer, and believe me, no one is called up to ask for my advice, I would be mindful of not committing some other criminal offense like obstruction of governmental administration, which is interfering with or by threat or otherwise the operation of government.
I mean, is it possible that his comments could threaten his own case?
Yeah, absolutely he could. And this is going to be a very difficult juggling match or a very difficult thing for judges to have to try to deal with, to try to figure out, well, how can I muzzle this guy? I mean, they do have the right to issue gag. Judges do have the right to issue gag orders on criminal defendants and prosecutors. On the other hand, this guy's running an active presidential campaign.
Do you think there should be a mugshot? Do you think there should be cameras in the courtroom?
I think there should be. I generally think cameras should be in the courtroom because I think people need to see what's actually happening, and it needs to be demystified. On mugshot, I don't care one way or the other.